Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on The Flash Season 6. So, yeah, The Flash is finally back this week. We've only got, like 4 or 5 days until it's back. The long wait is finally over. It's been like 2 months since a Flash episode. Like, that's crazy. I'm pretty sure the longest break we've had outside of the, the break between the end of one season and the beginning of another. So, thank Bebo, or thank Godspeed. Thank Godspeed it's back. But in this video, we have some honestly crazy stuff to go over. Honestly, I can't believe we're going over it, but some crazy stuff to go over, and actually a decent amount. There's actually a couple of topics, so I'm not going to waste any more time with this intro and filling out the video, as some of you accuse me of. But of course, throughout the video, be sure to let me know in the comments section down below your various opinions on this stuff, especially because there's a couple of things here of interest. Let me know all of your opinions down there in the comments section down below, especially what you're excited for the most, because as I said, a couple of things here. And of course, if you're going to enjoy the video and this stuff gets you fairly excited, why not drop a like on the video to show support? So the first thing I want to go over, just because I think it works in regards to the narrative of this video, is they released the episode titles for episode 14, 15, and 16. They usually release them in bunches of 3, especially when we get to like the back half. So yeah, I'm going to read them out. So episode 14 is entitled Death of the Speed Force. So start your theory engines there, but we'll jump into that. Episode 15 is The Exorcism of Nash Wells, and episode 16, is So Long and Good Night, which actually is sort of interesting as well. But obviously, let's just jump into the elephant in the video, and I'm not talking about myself. So, what to make of that episode 14 title of Death of the Speed Force? Now, the main thing that I'm sure a decent amount of you might already know, but episode 14 is the episode that Wally West, or Kenan Lonsdale, comes back to play Wally West or Kid Flash. We don't know if he's in more than one episode. The big thing to remind you guys is that episode 14 was the last episode they filmed before they went on their Christmas and New Year break. So episode 15 was shrouded, like they didn't do any public filming. It's all like winter in Vancouver, so they won't, if there was outside filming, none of the people that usually get the photos, like Canadagraphs and stuff, were really, I guess, brave enough to battle the winter, which I completely understand. So even if there was some stuff around that public filming that might confirm whether he was back or not, it was really bad weather, so we can't really confirm whether he was in episode 15 or not. But one thing we know, which they revealed back at Comic-Con from memory, Eric Wallace, the showrunner, said was that Wally West was coming back to the show to help Barry fight one of the Flash's greatest enemies. So when that happened, a lot of people were just thinking Reverse Flash. That was the big thing a lot of people thought, especially because it was going to be in the back half, so maybe he was the villain for the season. And with the name of Death of the Speed Force today, there's been some theories going around. So one of them has been that it could be a bit of a play on words, and they actually mean Black Flash, as he is, literal death, or, the Grim Reaper for speedsters, and I guess the Speed Force as well. So what are the chances of him coming back into the show? And to be honest, he's not really a villain. I've said this all along since he was introduced in the show. Black Flash isn't really a villain. He's sort of just in that grey area. He's just an entity doing his job, or its job. So he's not really a villain, or it's not really a villain. So, I don't think it's Black Flash, and there's a lot of things that point to it being another villain, which has already been sort of confirmed in a previous episode. So episode 13 for this season is otherwise entitled Grodd Friended Me. Now, obviously that means Gorilla Grodd's coming back, but with the episode 14 title of Death of the Speed Force and Wally being confirmed to be coming back for that episode, it pretty much tells us what they're doing. So what they're most likely doing is the Perfect Storm arc from DC Rebirth. Now, this pretty much does confirm a 2-parter, episode 13 and 14, which is usually, I think, the 2-parter episode numbers from the first 3 seasons. I'm pretty sure episode 13 and 14 were always the episodes they used for 2-parters. We haven't got a 2-parter, really, if you exclude the episode 7 and 8 from this season, which was like the Last Temptation of Barry Allen, part 1 and part 2. But we haven't had like a natural 2-parter, which was like a sort of like a fun event and almost like a mini thing from the comics. So season 1 was the Firestorm, season 2 was like the Journey to Earth 2, and then season 3 was with Grodd again, which was like the Gorilla City sort of thing. So we haven't had it for a few seasons, which is pretty surprising, because it was always a thing that I think a lot of us were looking forward to. It was like that fun couple of episodes and 2-week story arc. But in regards to Perfect Storm, what the hell is it? Like, what happens in that storyline? Well, the main thing, without spending too much time talking about it, essentially Grodd wants to take control of the Speed Force. Barry's like, no, I don't want you to take control of the Speed Force. Grodd's sort of got some stuff on Barry, which Barry is like, no, don't tell people about that and don't reveal that. And essentially, the big thing that sort of lines up with this is that Barry goes, "Yo, Wally, come help me," and it's actually the Kid Flash Wally. So that Wally comes in, and yeah, that's pretty much what happens. And this does involve a speedster team up, and this could lead to some interesting things, which we'll jump into in a second, which my title might have hinted at. But this will lead to another bit of news that Eric Wallace did confirm over the past 24 hours with an interview with the Mary Sue, and he confirmed that Jay Garrick is alive. He's confirmed alive, and he lives on Earth Prime. So Jay Garrick and Joan Williams, or potentially maybe Joan Garrick, are both alive. We saw them in episode 2 for this season. They're alive, they're on Earth Prime, and I guess they can exist because Henry and Nora Allen are dead, so we're not going to get an issue like that, like Batwoman is set up, where two of the same people can't exist from different Earths, so yeah. But in regards to that speedster team up, obviously we're going to get Wally. Wally's there, I'd expect we get Jay, who knows who else we'll get. In the comics, Godspeed teams up with them, but I don't think we're going to be seeing Godspeed teaming up with them. However, this would be very cool, and this would follow on from the Crisis thing, and it actually has some backing to it. I'm not saying it's confirmed. I'd be shocked if it actually happens, but there actually is some things that sort of do back it up from that happening potentially. And that's Ezra Miller. So Ezra Miller filmed that cameo that you see in Crisis around the time episode 14 was filmed. I think they were either a day or two into 14, or they were just about to start filming 14. It's one of the two. I know that Kenan Lonsdale was seen walking around Vancouver on December 12th, and I'm pretty sure they filmed that cameo on December 11th with Ezra Miller, but they might have started filming the episode before that. And who knows how long Ezra Miller was up there for? They never actually said. So, is there a possibility that we could see Ezra Miller in that episode, and it would be sort of like, because it is the death of the Speed Force, it's the battle for the Speed Force, it's a battle for the Speed Force, and there's also like some negative Speed Force stuff going around as well, and with a lack of actual established speedsters in the Arrowverse, if you want to call it, as of now, who knows, he could show up for literally like a 10-second cameo or 15, or maybe like a minute cameo or something, to help them in like that final surge. Look, I'm not saying it's going to happen. It would be so cool if it did, and it'd follow on from Crisis and even just connect this, I guess, this new DC multiverse together even more. But man, there's things that do back it. He was there when around the time this episode was filmed, so who knows. But in regards to Perfect Storm, go read it. You don't really have to read it, the rest of DC Rebirth. It'd help, but if you haven't done it, you don't have to. It's volume 7 of The Flash of DC Rebirth. I'd recommend it, as it will get you excited for what they do in episode 13 and 14 and give you a bit of context as to certain things going around and what to expect, so I'd recommend it. Now, in regards to the other episode titles that we just went over, so episode 15 is The Exorcism of Nash Wells. Nash Wells is meant to have a big arc, or a big-ish arc in this back half, a very emotional one apparently. So I am intrigued to see what that means. Maybe it's some issues post-Crisis, maybe he gets possessed, who knows. Obviously, there is the thing about, like, there's Black Hole, that organization, so maybe they possess Nash Wells in some way, shape, or form. I'm intrigued to see what they do there. Maybe he gets infected. If there is some, like, negative Speed Force or some stuff, like, around the Bloodwork stuff that's still lingering, maybe he gets infected by that, and there has to be, as I said, like, an exorcism of some sort, or, like, a flash play on an exorcism. Fairly interesting. I don't know exactly what they're going to go for, but he's meant to have a decent arc in the back half, so I guess that will play into it. In episode 16 of So Long and Good Night, look, when you look at it on face value, you go, okay, whatever, but maybe that hints at a death. Maybe it does play into Nash Wells. Maybe that Nash Wells, something happens to him in episode 15, then in episode 16, he legitimately does die. I wouldn't look into it too much, but that title of So Long and Good Night could potentially hint at a death. But I'm not going to look into that any further, because it could mean something completely different, and then we'd just be, well, we'd look like clowns if we spent too long theorizing about that, wouldn't we? But the last thing to go over in this video is actually the episode 12 synopsis, which is a girl named Sue, which is the introduction of Sue Dearborn. This synopsis came out, I think, a day ago from when this video will come out, I think. But yeah, here's the synopsis for that episode. After months of searching for Sue Dearborn, Ralph gets a lead on her whereabouts and finally comes face to face with his missing client. However, Sue refuses to return home to her family and instead takes Ralph on a daring adventure. Iris faces a new challenge while Barry considers a potentially dangerous request from a trusted source. So, with this synopsis, it's going to be cool just to see Sue come into the show. We already had her cast. Natalie Dreyfus is in the episode. I think she might appear towards the end of episode 11 as like a sort of like a tease / cliffhanger for the next episode. Maybe we'll just cut away to what she's doing wherever she is. But yeah, Ralph apparently is like I don't think he's even in episode 10. I think one of the previews said he's not even in that episode. So it's gonna be good to see this play forward. In regards to Iris facing a new challenge, I'm assuming it's something to do with the arc with Black Hole and the Citizen and everything like that. And Barry considering a potentially dangerous request from a trusted source. I am intrigued to see what that is, because this is the episode before the Gorilla Grodd episode. So I don't really know actually what that might mean. Potentially dangerous request from a trusted source. I don't know who's a trusted source that would have a dangerous request. Let's just say it is someone. I don't know what it would be. If you have any theories about that, let me know, because I don't even know what that could actually mean, to be completely honest, unless it's like a Argus thing. Maybe it's an Argus thing. I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, that's pretty much the video, guys. As I said, there's a lot of interesting things going forward. I'm looking forward to that 13 and 14 two-parter now, so much more than I was like literally about a day ago, because just that title there makes me know that it's a two-parter, and that it most likely is Perfect Storm, and that they could do some really cool speedster stuff. And knowing that Jay Garrick is alive is cool as well. And also, just a side note, you never know, maybe that female apprentice that he teased a couple of seasons ago, maybe she's alive in Earth Prime as well, and she joins the battle. Maybe it's Avery Ho. Who knows? She's in the Perfect Storm comics, so maybe she'll appear there as well. And that's a debut of another speedster, a female speedster. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it'd be awesome if you could drop a like on it to show your support. Let me know in the comments section down below your various opinions on what we went over. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. And yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.